In the world of martial arts cinema, two names stand at the top of fan debates. Scott Adkins, the British actor who brought Boyka, the most complete fighter in the world, to life, and Michael Jai White, the American martial arts master whose strength, discipline, and screen presence made him one of Hollywood's most respected fighters. Their fight in Undisputed II is still remembered as one of the greatest martial arts battles ever captured on film. But beyond the camera, beyond the choreography, fans have always wondered, who would truly win? This is the story of two martial arts icons, their origins, their clash, their styles, and the ultimate question, in a real fight, who stands victorious? Scott Adkins was born in Sutton Coldfield, England in 1976. From a young age, he wasn't the biggest, the strongest, or the loudest in the room, but he carried within him a quiet obsession: martial arts. At just 10 years old, he stepped into a judo dojo with his father and older brother. That moment lit a fire. Soon, Scott wasn't just training, he was living for it. By his teenage years, he had immersed himself in taekwondo, earning his black belt at only 19. He later added kickboxing, karate, ninjutsu, judo, and jiu-jitsu to his arsenal. But Adkins didn't just want to fight, he wanted to perform. He studied Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, and Jean-Claude Van Damme. He dreamed of not just competing, but creating cinematic fights that would leave audiences breathless. That dream took him from small TV roles to eventually being recognized worldwide as Yuri Boyka. Character who turned him into a martial arts cinema legend. Across the ocean, another fighter was born into a different world. Michael Jai White grew up in Brooklyn, New York, a tough environment where fighting wasn't just sport, it was survival. He began training in martial arts at the age of 7. Unlike most, he didn't stop at one style. Over the years, White earned black belts in 7 disciplines: Shotokan, Goju-Ryu, Taekwondo, Tang Soo Do, Kyokushin, Kobudo, and even Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But Michael wasn't just a fighter, he was a scholar of martial arts, a teacher, a philosopher, a practitioner who understood that true mastery meant discipline of the body and mind. In the 1990s, Hollywood came calling. He became the first African-American actor to portray a major comic book superhero on screen, Spawn. From there, he starred in action classics like Blood and Bone, and appeared in films alongside legends such as Jean-Claude Van Damme, Steven Seagal, and Tony Jaa. But it was his role as George "Iceman" Chambers in Undisputed II that would change martial arts cinema forever, bringing him face-to-face with Scott Adkins. In 2006, the underground prison fighting film Undisputed II, Last Man Standing introduced audiences to something special. Michael Jai White played George "Iceman" Chambers, a disgraced boxing champion framed for a crime. His raw power and boxing dominance made him unstoppable, until he met Yuri Boyka. Boyka, played by Scott Adkins, was unlike anything audiences had seen. A Russian prison fighter, brutal, fast yet graceful, calling himself the most complete fighter in the world. When Chambers and Boyka stepped into the ring, fans witnessed a clash of styles: pure boxing power versus explosive martial arts acrobatics. The fight choreography was breathtaking, Adkins spinning through tornado kicks, White grounding him with raw strength. In the end, Chambers won, but Boyka stole the hearts of fans worldwide. Audiences left the theatre asking one question: who is this Scott Adkins? Undisputed III, Redemption carried Boyka's story forward. Though Michael Jai White did not return, the legend of Boyka only grew. Scott Adkins transformed from villain to anti-hero, and martial arts fans hailed him as the new face of screen fighting. But it wasn't the end of the rivalry. In 2019, the two warriors clashed again, this time in triple threat. Surrounded by legends like Tony Jaa, Iko Uwais, and Tiger Chen, the stage was set for another epic confrontation. Once again, audiences were treated to the contrast: Adkins' aerial kicks and speed versus White's controlled, devastating power. These films became more than entertainment. They became demonstrations of two philosophies of combat: agility versus strength, flash versus foundation, acrobatics versus discipline. Scott Adkins fights like a storm. He's fast, unpredictable, explosive. His kicks, spinning, flipping, twisting, defy gravity. He blends Taekwondo's flash with kickboxing's raw power. On screen, he's the perfect spectacle. Michael Jai White, on the other hand, is the mountain. His style is rooted in discipline. His punches are heavy, his kicks are precise, his footwork balanced. Years of traditional training make him unshakable. Side by side, their styles are complete opposites. Adkins overwhelms with speed and creativity. White dominates with precision and control. And now, the question every fan asks: if they fought for real, who wins? Michael Jai White stands larger, stronger, heavier. His decades of training in multiple traditional styles, his sparring with real fighters, and his discipline give him an undeniable edge. In raw combat, his power and control would likely overwhelm Adkins. But underestimate Scott Adkins and you pay the price. His speed, endurance, and creative arsenal of kicks could catch even the most disciplined fighter off guard. In a sport like MMA, where agility and stamina matter, Adkins could very well surprise the world. So who wins? The truth is, it depends. In a ring, under MMA rules, White's strength might prevail. In a more open fight, Adkins' creativity could be the difference. Perhaps that's why fans continue to debate. Because the ultimate answer remains shrouded in the art of what if. At the end of the day, Scott Adkins and Michael Jai White gave us something priceless: unforgettable martial arts cinema. Adkins represents the new wave, the evolution of screen fighting, where choreography becomes art. Michael Jai White represents tradition, the embodiment of real martial discipline and respect. Together, they showed us that martial arts is not just about who wins or loses, but about respect, passion, and dedication to the craft. When Boyka met Iceman, two worlds collided, and to this day, martial arts fans around the world remain grateful. This was the story of Scott Adkins versus Michael Jai White. Two legends, one unforgettable rivalry.